Have you ever felt lost or alone? Maybe struggling with self-doubt or even overwhelming depression, crippling anxiety, and uncontrollable rage. That was my life. Rock bottom, going to inpatient therapy, dropping out of high school, and even being homeless. But today, I am thriving. I have a great community of mentors, mentees, and peers in my life. I have a clear sense of my calling where God's called me to be. And I have tons of momentum and doors opening seemingly every single day. When I walk in rooms, I walk in with confidence. I walk in knowing who I am. And most importantly, I have a deep, meaningful relationship with God who directs all of my steps. In the last couple of years, I've come from being a high school dropout to now being a high-performance coach, a public motivational speaker, a faith-based personal development podcaster, and ultimately, man, I'm a servant to God. And I serve beside other ministries. I serve as part of the Emerging Eagles nonprofit. I wanted to dive deeper into how I got to where I am, and to do that, I have to go all the way back to the beginning, back to the future. Namaste. I grew up with severe depression, anxiety. I was isolated. I went to a school that had 7,000 students and I had no friends. I was an outcast, and ultimately I would go home each and every day after school and I would go sleep. But I always knew growing up, entrepreneurship was my call. I remember talking to a neighbor a few months ago and he told me, "Hey, Tony, when you were 12 years old, you always said you wanted to be an entrepreneur. Now you are, and that's amazing." And so, even though I couldn't see it, I didn't want to be that kid. God was at work the whole time. May 1st, 2022 marked the beginning of my transformation, and that's when I got into the gym for the very first time consistently. So since then, I've shed over 80 pounds of fat, but the more important thing I tell people is I didn't just shed the fat. I shed the weight of judgment, of anxiety, depression, fear. On that morning, I woke up and I tell people I felt reborn. I felt tired. I felt like the pain of change had overcome the pain of staying the same. And frankly, enough was enough. The first part of my journey really was all about getting in shape physically and mentally. And then I came to Christ in 2023, September 2023. I got God knocked into me. I literally had a concussion for my first time ever sparring in boxing. I got a concussion. I was bedridden for 2 weeks. And towards the end of that, I downloaded a Bible app and I went to church that next weekend. But that's not the whole story. Before that, I had two friends who I tell all the time, I thought they were corny as heck. I thought they were corny. But I could feel their conviction when they were talking about God. And that conviction ultimately led me to Christ. February 2024 marked the beginning of my professional and entrepreneurial success. Within the next 6 months, from February to August of 2024, I made over 6 figures in real estate investing. In the business, I invested 25 grand in coaching, and that helped me tremendously. In fact, I don't know that I would be where I am today if I had not gone through that coaching program. But in August, something unexpected happened. Over one weekend, I shut that business down, and frankly, it was because it wasn't aligned. It wasn't aligned with my calling, and I felt drained. I felt my energy drained. I felt my spirit drained. And God called me. He said, "Tony, you are called to this entrepreneur dream, but not in this way." And I realized that I was placing profits over purpose, that my professional life was so vastly separated from my personal, my spiritual, my whole life. They felt completely disconnected. They felt like two different parts of me. So what I found is that wealth alone is empty. One of my favorite verses from the Bible is Matthew 6:33, and it says, "Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these other things shall be given to you." The Bible also says, no one can serve two masters. You cannot serve both God and money. And frankly, if I'm really honest, I might have been serving money with my real estate business. When you seek first the kingdom as an entrepreneur and you attain wealth, you'll find fulfillment, and you'll also find alignment with God and his plan for your life. God doesn't care. So now my mission is to help faith-driven entrepreneurs overcome limiting beliefs and self-sabotage to achieve clarity, confidence, and purpose in order to focus on their mission and their impact. I do this by helping them perform at the highest of their capabilities in 3 different areas. First is leadership. This is where either I personally come in as a coach or I pair you with a mentor. Second is mindset. This is the way you think. You'll transform the limiting beliefs into an abundance mindset. The third way is productivity. These are the habits that once you implement will make you more productive, help you get more done in your day, and have helped me personally get 12 hours of work done in 2 hours. Some of this is delegation. Some of this is using AI tools. Some of this is just structuring your day right. Currently, I'm a high performance coach. I'm a public speaker, mostly speaking with Emerging Eagles, our nonprofit with Ken Johnson, a former chaplain of the Indianapolis Colts. I am also a huge believer in reinvesting in personal and professional growth, and I've done this with many different courses, many different coaching programs. I've invested probably over 50 grand in the last year. And I'm also a podcaster, and I've had the honor to interview amazing guests like Ray Hilbert, who founded Truth at Work. That was a leadership-focused organization that served over 650 Christian-led businesses. Greg Enos, who's a community builder here in Indianapolis, Indiana, involved in redemptive entrepreneurship. Jamar Wright, who's a local pastor, agent, and investor, and many, many more amazing people. So I invite you to join our free community. The link's in the description below. And if this video resonated with you and you want to stop self-sabotage and you want resources to help, you want to grow together, feel free to join, and then I'll reach out and you can get hands-on help from me personally. A foundational part of our community, the Reborn Leadership Network, is Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one sharpens another. I'm a huge believer that networking can exponentially change your life. I'm here, the community is here. My pastor, Ken Johnson, who you can also meet in the community, has a saying that says, better together, together better. I love that. Remember to subscribe, join our community, and share this with a friend who could also take value. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next video.